Hello everybody, we're here at Nurburgring for Limit of Adhesion Club 1500 Open Wheel Season 1 F3 Championship. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's nice to have you in the commentary box with us today. How are you finding it so far?
I'm very well, thank you. I've got to say this commentary box is a bit smaller than what I've heard. I thought we were going to be in the luxury suite, but this will do. We've got a good view of the track, good view of the start-finish line. Looking forward to this one. Should be an exciting race.
Yeah, absolutely. Just try not to get the sawdust in between your toes. It itches a little bit after that, you know.
I've got my cuppa, so I'm doing fine, thank you. So, looking forward to this one. This is the start of a new championship. So, Club 1500, so we've got split the league up because we've got quite a few drivers now, 40 drivers. Here we go, we've got the practice results. Dom, do you want to run us through the practice results?
Yeah, absolutely. So no surprise, the QRS boys have been with the championship for quite a while, topping the timing charts there, but then a lot of new names in the championship as well this time. So Dano Hammond in P3 there, some familiar faces with Chris White and Chris Forrester running at the top 5. Roberto Costa, last season's Club 1500 champion, just outside the top 5 there as well.
Some stunning camera shots. Here we go, we've got the grid, and as expected, we've got the QRS boys on top. We've got Sam Stott on pole, followed by Chiro Malarin, Chris Wright, Roberto Costa, Dano Hammond, some new names in here, Chris Forrester, Rich Meesters, Daniel Hill, Daniel Rice, Gareth Winslade, Craig, and Joe Barlow rounding out the top 12.
I think we've got 13 cars on the grid, so we'll just wait for the update. Who's bringing us up? It's Jake Weaver from the United States.
There we go, bring up the rear.
No Jason today. Jason
no,
and Jake normally race together.
And look at this, what's going on? Straight onto the grid, it's just like that.
Here we go, green
and here
lights.
we go. And what on earth has happened to Malarin there? Has he realised the start? Come on. Away he goes, 5 seconds later. Here we go.
Giving the other guys a head start, isn't he?
He is. I don't think he's 1500 iRacing, so maybe he's playing fair. Here we go. Through turn 2 now, on board with Chris Wright. Looking good so far. All clean.
Yeah, nice and clean through the first couple of corners. Sam obviously got a great start with with no one fighting him into turn 1 with Tour.
He did.
Sitting having a cuppa, you know, just taking it easy, enjoying the ride for a little bit.
The ride along, that's what it is. We're on board with Dano Hammond here in the stunning livery. It looks absolutely superb, I must say. Is that a Braun GP livery behind him, I think? And here we go, Gareth Winslade. New team, he's part of Wizards of Lifton Coast. I think they're represented in all our leagues, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
one of the stable teams that's running across pretty much every single championship that the LoA are running. So spanning from NASCAR to the road racing. I think they're even going to represent in the IndyCar as well once the IndyCar starts. But yeah, Sam leading the pack through the second half of the lap here. As you can see, Dano Hammond going side by side here. We're going to do our best to start learning liveries and numbers. But first race of the season, we're on the back foot a little bit, aren't we?
We've got to work out. We've got 22 registered for this, so 13 so far. Hopefully we get a few more names entering, but should be an exciting race. This is.
Oh, there's a car around in the background there.
Oh,
I think I'm not sure who that was. Maybe backwards. He dropped down the order there a little bit.
It is, yeah. I've just been on the track map. Jake's struggling there. Hopefully he can get back up because, well, it's going to be a tight pack. I think it's going to be all about the slipstream. That's OP. Coming up to the fast chicane here. This one, not an overtaking opportunity if I remember off the top of my head. Quite tight, like 5th gear. What is it? Dab a brake about 20%.
Yeah, it's definitely a really fast flowing section as Rich goes around there. That's really unfortunate in the final corner. Very easily done as well.
Did he just tap the wall? Did he tap the wall there, or is he all right?
Kiss just at the end there as well.
Hopefully he can get back going and claw some places back. Long race, so it's not over. These cars are very difficult to drive on that one though, especially these cold tyres. I'm not sure why they take so long. They should come out nice and toasty from the blankets, maybe not in this.
Well, they last so long as well. They must be like made out of brick dust or something for how long they last. It's not made out of rubber, is it?
It must be, yeah, that's very true. On board with Chris here.
Yeah, keeping Sam honest at the front here, isn't he? Not pulling away.
Yeah, he's just being silky smooth though. Look at his inputs, just nice and gentle. I think that's the way to carry the speed in this car. Just being extra smooth. Got to babe it for the first few laps, then you can get the hammer down. But gap doesn't look to be too far. You can see him just ahead. Where is Malarin though? After his horrible start, he's just made up a place on Craig. And there we go. Look at that. Speak of the devil, there he is.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. So back inside the top 10 for Tour there. Just getting past Craig. And Joe Barlow, it looks like, never actually set off by the looks of it. He's in the
We
pits.
got a ghost car.
Yeah, I don't think he ever took the grid, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that's a shame. So we've got 12 cars currently. Well, here we are on board with Dan Rice in a beautiful Braun livery. I've got to say, that is the highlight livery so far. Loving the look of that.
Iconic, that livery, isn't it? So much sort of history from that one season that Braun did.
Looks like we're having a few issues with the telemetry there. You can see Sam blinking in and out, hopefully on the overlay it's all good. Is that Chu making up another place? I think Winslay's made a mistake. He must have dropped it. What's going on? He's just dropped from 8th to 10th.
I saw looking good on the track map. I saw we just had a quick off track there, but yeah, I'm not sure. Santo's just slicing through the field. Just right on the nose of Dano.
One to watch, I think. Yeah.
Who's that off? Whoa. That's one of the CC Racing boys. It's Chris Forrester dropping down the order.
He's kept it out of the wall, kept it. It should be all good to go. Nice safe rejoin. That's what we like to see. Checking the relative, of course.
Tricky final corner, that one, isn't it? It reminds me of the last corner at Hungaroring, but this Nurburgring, for some reason, just seems that much harder for some reason.
It's so bumpy as well. I mean, especially running on, a direct drive wheelbase. Force feedback is a premium. 25 Newton meters, I tell you, it's a workout. You don't need to go to the gym.
Shaking you to pieces.
Yes, quite literally. Here we go.
Beautiful
on board
with Gareth there, making up for what I think was maybe a mistake.
And there's Chris back going again in P7. He's all good. I was going to say he's in a Wizards of Lifton Coast sandwich, but he's not, because guess who's behind him? It's Malarin, who's on a charge to get back to the front.
He'll be kicking himself whatever happened at the start there. Don't know if he just missed the
I
lights
wonder if it was a hardware failure.
Yeah, maybe had a hardware issue.
Or, because of his iRacing, I think maybe he was just playing nice, giving them a 5-second head start. Luckily, no one hit him though. That's the main thing.
Oh no, you can't. It's never nice to see a car sitting there off the start grid there, and you're just waiting to get collected. But fortunately for him, he got away with it.
The guys are on it. They saw him. Maybe he said something on the voice chat and we didn't hear it. Who knows?
So Sam and Chris just pulling away a little bit at the front there. There's a bit of an air gap to Dan, who's just blinked in and out a couple of times there. You can see Ron.
You can see the gap there.
Yeah, exactly.
3 seconds. I'd like to see what sort of lap times they're doing, because maybe these other guys are just struggling on the cold tyres.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, a lot of new faces in the league, so possibly new to the F3 in general.
That's very true. I heard rumours that Daniel Hill in P5 only picked up the car just before the race, about 20 minutes before, and he's sitting pretty in P5, so credit where credit's due. That's a very impressive debut from him.
Yeah, that is impressive. I think a car is hard to learn than the track is, sorry. I know a couple of the guys in the top split only picked up the track moments before the session started, but to have to learn a whole new car in that time, it's pretty impressive.
There we go. See a couple of lap times we've just got.
And Joe is out of the pits
got the fastest lap. But look at Malarin, he's on a charge, he's about 10th up. There is Joe. Welcome to the LoA, Joe, and welcome to Dan as well. Hopefully you guys have a good race. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. That's all that matters. Get the points.
So Roberto's got a lot to prove then this year. Like I said, he's Club 15. I can't talk today. Can someone give me a replacement tongue, please? But Roberto, defending champion in the F3, so he's got his work cut out so far, just sitting outside the top 5.
That's very true. Just looking at the race distance there, I'm not sure if that's right. I think it should be the same as top split, 28 laps and 45 minutes. Maybe that's a mistake on the overlay. Hopefully that can be rectified for the next round.
Yeah, we'll soon find out. Have you got plenty of track facts and driver stats for the 55 minutes?
I've got some driver stats. Track facts, I'm not too sure on, to be honest. I'll let you handle that one.
I'll get frantically Googling to see what I can find, shall I?
Absolutely, I'll take charge of the commentary. I don't mind. These guys battling here for, what is that, 4th place. Just gotta keep it smooth and just gotta stay with the other guys. As I said, slipstream.
There's a car off the road there, yeah. Chris White. Oh no, from P2.
Oh, he was having a good race. Hopefully he can get back on the track. He's got his fast repair, so, I mean, 7 minutes into the race, I'm not sure if it's a bit too early to pit. That car looks like it's in better days, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
Ideal, although it's still got its wings by the looks of it, with Tour now hunting down Chris.
Where on earth has Malarin been? I mean, he's charged up from P10 in 2 laps or something. This is quite remarkable, I have to say. Let's see what he can do on Chris. See if he can breeze past. Let's see, he's going to tuck in the slipstream. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Looks like he's a bit too far back.
Yeah, I'd have thought too far back from now, and unless he really sends it on the brakes.
We know what he's like, last of the late breakers. Thought better of it there.
Live to fight another day. So Chris opted not to pit then, so I must feel that the car is still in good sound working order. Be interested to sort of see or know what happened there to Chris. He's been running a good race in P2 there.
Hopefully we'll get a replay. You can see Chris Forrester though struggling. He's running a bit wide. Once you get onto that exit curve there, you're really stuck out there. There's Malarin. He's got a great run now. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, as we switch to Dan Rice, he's now in P2, but Sam is 6 seconds up. It's quite impressive. QRS boys are looking good. Let's see if Chur can make it a 1-2 for them. Maybe. I don't tempt fate.
Absolutely not. Curse of the commentator. I mean, we saw a lot last year that both Sam and Tour could quite easily hold their own with a few of the top split guys. Just a bit of the consistency sometimes was missing.
And there we go. Mallorin up another place. I think we've got to start making a note. That's what's he up to now. That'll be P6. Very good.
What do you reckon? Once he gets to P1, he'll drop back to the back again and see if he can do it again, or?
I think so. I'd go with that. P13 and work his way back up again. Sounds like a plan. Can definitely say he would have been overtaking the most cars on track today.
Absolutely. If only there was a point on offer for that. Speaking of points, we've got 70 points for the winner this season, 59 for P2. I think it's 52 for the third of the podium spots, and there's a there's a positional point or qualifying pole, and also fastest lap as Chris Forrester is drifting off the road. That's through the fast chicane, isn't it, coming into the final corner there?
I think so. And back on boards for the battle for P3. Here we go. Thinks better of it. Got to be right up alongside them, and I think you want to go for the inside there to just force your competitor, you know, say, I'm coming through, you better give me some space, please, because any contact in these, it's race over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're very fragile cars. I've just noticed we've had the battle of the Ollies through silly season. We've got Dan, Dano, and Daniel in the F3 here, running 2, 3, and 4.
Is this something for silly season 2? Is this what I'm hearing? This could be the battle of the Dans and Dano.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. We also realised the other day we've got quite a lot of Steves or Stevens in the league as well.
We do. That's
Steves,
very true. So. Thankfully, we've got the full names on the overlay there, because otherwise I couldn't remember all the names, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, plenty of scope for some silly season shenanigans on the way.
Yes. I'm just looking at the timing tower. I'm wondering what's happening with Dan Rice. He keeps blinking in and out. Could that be internet, or could it be something else?
I think we saw him blinking a couple of times in the Silverstone GT3 race as well, so I think maybe just a few connection issues, but holding pace, not really closing in on Sam, but not losing time to him either. Really.
And look who's on screen again. Who is this? This is Mallorin on his charge. Let's see what we can do on Roberto. He's just going to tuck up behind him here.
Tour's run enough of these races to know that it's more of a long game. It doesn't need to just go diving in at the first opportunity.
Well, speaking of that, we've got our fuel window. What do you reckon here? What's the best strategy? Do you want to underfuel the car? Because obviously we've got 75% fuel limit, which means, about 35 litres that the cars can hold. But running 35 litres in this is quite heavy.
Oh no, it's costing. I've already got past then as we cut to the shop. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, these cars do pick up a lot of pace as they run lighter on the fuel, so maybe 2 half tanks might be better than sort of a full tank and then a splash at the end. I do believe that potentially with a bit of lift and coast, the cars might do the entire race, as we see.
And here's Mallorin.
Ooh, has he made it inside? Great move.
There you go. That's the way it should be. That's how you do turn 1. Silky smooth on the brakes there. Says thank you very much. And we've got some smoke ahead.
There's a car round.
Who's that? Is that Dan? That's a Dan in the Brawn livery round there. That's unfortunate. He was running P2, so that promotes us with a new 1, 2, 3.
Curse of the P2 at the minute. Didn't Mallorin start P2 and didn't get off the line? And we saw Chris White spin from P2.
Something haunted about P2 today.
Dano Hammond needs to watch out now. Sitting in that unfavourable P2.
Hopefully he's alright. I mean, he's got Dan keeping him honest, so hopefully we've got a good battle there. But Sam, I can't even see him. I'm just looking at the track map. Look where he is. He's just going through...
That's an astonishing gap he's got there.
That's mad. What's going on?
So did we see what happened to Rich Meesters there? He's dropped below Jake. We know Jake had a spin early on, so he was running out the back of the pack.
I think Rich had a spin on lap 1, didn't he? So he's just probably trying to calm his nerves. As we see Craig making his debut. Welcome to the F3, Craig. Hope you stick around.
Craig, of course, one of the teams that run in the Daytona 24 earlier on in the year.
Yeah, he did very well in that. They were unfortunate to miss out on the podium. Next time, boys.
Even more of a shout out for Craig, though. A double Daytona 500 winner as Jake makes the move up the inside there. Very crisp and clean move. Clinical overtaking.
Stunning move there. I mean, they got not really bad. Look at the gap. They've got about 7 seconds to find. Maybe they can work together. A bit of drafting. So back on board with Daniel here. You can see Mallorin. Look at him. Look in the mirrors. Look at the gate. Look at the closing speed. He's flying. Is he going to make a move? Doesn't look like it this time. Almost into the back of him there. God, I can't see him. Where's he gone?
He's just like a shark hunting his prey, isn't he? Moving left and right, trying to distract Daniel here.
Can't flash the lights in these cars, unfortunately.
Are you fond of a light flash, are you?
I am. We've got to distract the drivers by some means, you know. Or let them know you're coming through. If you haven't seen already, you can see a light show if you check out our LMP2 versus GT4 at Watkins Glen to end off Dom's fantastic silly season, which was a great battle. Great battle all season long, thoroughly enjoyable.
I think that video comes with an epilepsy warning, doesn't it?
I think it does. I think that would be advised. Viewer discretion is advised.
So on board with Daniel then, looking backwards from P3 towards Tour, who's now up to P4 from the back of the grid. It's an incredible rise.
Quite incredible, really. I like to see his pace, his lap pace, because he must be flying. And here we are on board with our leader, Sam Stott, an 11-second gap. If he keeps going at this rate, he's going to have a free pit stop,
Absolutely.
Right?
It's like we're only 15 minutes deep. If we imagine him pitting around the half-hour mark, he's almost going to get that free pit stop.
Quite literally. I mean, look, he's just got the sun to deal with. The sun is absolutely blinding here, though.
Chris White on his recovery drive after that spin early on.
CC Racing guys in 7th and 8th, so good points, Hull.
Yeah, Chris in a bit of an island there. Sort of, I think it was a 6-second gap back to Winslade, and then I think it was a 3-second gap up to his teammate. So sort of lapping by himself right now. Just needs to log some laps. There's a spinner in the chicane I can see on the track map there. It's Daniel Hill spun round.
Oh, that's a shame. It's not the Cursor P2. I think we've moved down the grid. Cursor P3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And here he is. He's opted to jump into the pits.
Do you reckon he's got a bit of damage? A bit of floor damage or something?
It's looking alright, isn't it? I wonder if he's opted for a short fuel to start with, he might be able to make it at the end, maybe.
That is a good strategy. Get a bit clear air and run some fast laps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
helps it's working to start at the front, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Sam's clear. I'd like to see how long his pit time is. Hopefully, he's got the pits under control, because we had a few incidents here, if I remember correctly, last season. Give a shout out to Mr. Line.
A moment to forget from. Was that from the lead of the race as well, wasn't it?
It was, and he blocked the pits and Nathan got caught in that one. That was a big error on Dave's part, so hopefully these guys have learned and they know to take it extra cautious.
Weasel with a bit of a slide there out that opening complex. Really pushing to try and catch Winslade here. It's just cost him about 4 tenths though.
He's got to stay in the draft. That's the thing. Back on board with Roberto now. He's in P4 and Malarin just seems to be pulling away from him. Malarin back in P3, so back. That's a big point for QRS there. Oh, first third at the moment. Can they make it a 1-2?
Malarin certainly not scything through the field as quickly as it was at the start of the race now, though.
I think the field's strung out a bit, so it's just trying to keep pace and run to a delta, and maybe watch the fuel number, because maybe that's a factor. Because we know fuel saving is a gamble, as we saw in our silly season race, but I don't think in these, they use that much fuel, do they?
No, absolutely, but I guess any fuel you can save on the track is something that you don't need to put back in at the pit stop, so it could be worthwhile, as we see Sam set a fastest lap of 48.0.
Is it me or Rich's steering looks a bit bent, or is he just holding it at an angle? Is he doing a bit of NASCAR style?
Yeah, maybe, got a bit of an offset on the steering wheel. Let's have a look. It's a little bit right hand down,
doesn't look very straight.
Yeah.
Hopefully, remember they got the fast repair, so they can use that. So you see Malarin's 48.3. Cars behind him all in the 49, so Malarin's definitely got the pace. He's not matching Sam though. What did Sam do? A 48.1 or something?
48. Well, it was a 48.048. So yeah, he's not.
So
not
even faster than that. I beg your pardon. No.
There's a danger in pushing so much when you're at the front like that, though. He doesn't need to be pushing so hard that he's making mistakes.
That's very true. As we see back on board with Joe here, running a little bit wide, just exploring. I don't think you get off track there, so that's all right.
It's a beautiful livery he's running there. Is that a trading paint special, or is that a custom job? Beautiful green. It looks
very nice. Lovely, lovely stuff. Recognisable livery. I'll make a note of that.
Absolutely. It's almost like that Aston Martin Racing Green, isn't it?
It is. It is. But I think we're missing the vents along the side there. The cooling vents.
It's very true. Very true. So you can see on the map, the field mostly strung out, except for kind of from Malarin back 4 positions. There's a cluster of 4 cars there, still fairly nose to tail. So they'll be keeping each other honest in the mid-pack there.
Let's hope they can work together. We don't want the battles, because as we can see, the battles have really strung the field out.
Dano managing to survive the curse of P2 so far.
Don't, just don't say it.
And Malarin's got past Costa. up into P. If he made the move for P4 before, didn't he? Has someone dropped out the top positions there, or have I just lost my marbles? I thought Valerian was
losing
P4.
your marbles. He was, but I think he's made a move on Costa. Or maybe Costa made a mistake, or just said open the door and let him go.
Yeah, maybe if we were losing time, maybe opted for the long game.
Gotta say, that's a beautiful sticker on the front there, the Club 1500 livery. Logo design. That looks superb, so we can recognise them. Very nice indeed.
Absolutely, and that's across the GT Championship as well, of course.
But just looking at the paint there, is it me or is that how it's meant to be?
It's a bit of a quirk with the F3. I don't know if you've noticed. If you go over some curves, it kind of flicks the paint off the nose. And so throughout the course of the race with these onboard shots, we'll probably find that the nose, like the paint job on the top of the noses here, gets worse and worse and worse. But I don't believe it's damaged the car in any way. It's just the paint seems to flake off. It's very strange.
Very peculiar, as we see Malloran hunting his next victim here.
So maybe the curse of P2 for Dano is just going to be the fact that he's going to get hunted.
Yes. And hopefully he can put up a fight. I'd like to see someone stop Malloran because he's on a charge after sliving his way through from the back. Taking two very different lines there. You can see Malloran late apexing, getting the overspeed. Look at that.
Yeah, he's got a really good stun shot out there, hasn't he?
Not going to go too wide here. It's not going to brave it out. He's just going to slip in that draft, as we see him defending here. Oh, no, he's opened the door at the last second. Side by side. Holding his own.
Right on the outside for Malloran.
Oh, what a move.
Wow.
Fantastic. Wow.
Very respectful.
He was confident he was going to give him space.
Yeah, he left him quite a lot of space there. Probably doesn't want contact in the first race of the season. And Malloran took every centimetre that he could of it.
You see that though? He did that. Dano had a little look there just to scare him, just for that. Oh, you want to outbreak yourself? I'll take the place. Thank you very much. Didn't happen, unfortunately.
Well, we saw Malloran dancing about in the mirrors earlier on, so trying to give him a bit of his own medicine there.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. I think Sam's had a mistake because his lap time's 10 seconds off the pace there.
Oh, absolutely. And look at the gap. We know he had like a 10-second lead.
Oh, wow.
So what has happened?
Dan Rice making a move. Little lock up, but has he completed the move? Yes, he has. Great move. As I said, the inside line into turn 1 is the way, is the ticket.
Yeah, really good move there. And worth a quick shout out for the CC Racing paint job, modelled off the Lynx Africa cans. If you can remember.
That's where I recognised it. I knew I recognised it from somewhere.
Oh, Chris has gone.
He saved it
save there. Gets it locked up to stop it over rotating there.
Allowing his teammate through, and I'm sure Chris Wright will say thank you very much for that. Let's see if we can work together and close the gap. But Malloran is, he's like less than a second now.
Yeah, something's happened to Stott there, hasn't it? We said about him not needing to push too hard, but maybe it has done.
Maybe he was just chasing fastest lap. He wanted to hit a 47. And maybe track temps are going up. That could be a factor in this one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, possible Sam was chasing that extra point for the fastest lap and just pushed too hard.
Yeah, because that's a new thing for this season, isn't it? Fastest lap and also the point for pole. So 2 extra points on offer. Just riding on board here.
Yeah, exactly. On board with Dano, looking back towards Roberto. So since Tour has got past Dano, he's seemed to drop off the pace a little bit. Maybe just overheated the tyres a little bit in the defence. Just needs to regroup a little bit.
I mean, there's no water on the track to cool him down, unfortunately. Maybe that's coming with a future iRacing update. We can dream.
Nice. Yeah. It's going to be carnage when it comes, but it's
absolutely.
Going to be good.
As we see Daniel back out in P11 after his pit stop. Let's not forget he's pitted. And look at that. Malloran's taken the fastest lap already. The QRS boys are a second up. Have they got some cheaty setup or something? I wonder what's going on here because
they've got rocket boosters in the exhaust pipes.
They have.
Maybe running some nuts or something.
As you see Daniel running a bit wide. That's going to give Rich a run. Let's see if he can make it stick around the outside. And he lets him go.
Yeah, Daniel looks really off the pace there. Is something wrong with the car?
Maybe he changed tyres or something because, they do take a while to come up, especially in qualifying on this. It's about 5 laps or so. Those first 5 laps are like driving on ice.
The paint job on that rear wing there, because the paint is like on an angle, keeps making me think the rear wing's damaged, but I think it's fine. It's just the paint job. I keep glancing at it and I'm like, is that rear wing looking straight? No, I think it's fine. He's back up to speed now by the looks of it.
Maybe he's got DRS that we don't know about and it keeps opening and closing.
Car side by side in the background there. Yeah, Dano and Roberto's making the move then into the Dunlop hairpin.
But I think Dano's going to have the overspeed here. And let's see as we run up
Stays
through the
inside
corner.
line. Yeah, nice defence there.
Very well done. He knew where to place his car.
That outside line through the hairpin just gives a really good slingshot on the exit, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Yeah.
A little bit wide there, but plenty of exits to play
No
with.
slowdown. That's all right. Yes. I think, what, we got about 15x or so? Oh, no, sorry. 12x. A little bit less. So, you know, if you have 3 4x's, I mean, a 4x in this is game over, which is car contact, but they've got to be sparing with them. They can't use it like in silly season and just avoid the track at all cost.
Yeah, absolutely. Still got to be careful throughout the race. Is it going to be about a 28 lap race, something like that?
I think so, yeah, 28 laps.
So
I mean,
it's less than 1x every 2 laps. It's even less than that, so they've got to be careful along the way.
I think it's alright. We've got a few tracks coming up later in the season, such as our next round, which is Virginia, which is going to be very tough.
Yes, long course, very windy. And well, to be fair though, at Virginia, if you get off track, you tend to find a wall anyway, don't you? So.
Or you do a bit of rally cross and the car just flips over. Jake in his familiar livery there. I recognise that from the oval division stuff with the NASCAR.
Absolutely, is rocking the orange. I think even the TCR is orange as well this year for him.
It is indeed.
A couple of battles on track then, so we've got what's going on there? Rich just slowed down.
Didn't get slowed down or something, did he?
I'm not sure, just suddenly lost pace there, didn't he?
Not hardware failure again, I really hope not. He was looking good. I mean, don't get me wrong, 3/4 of lap 1 was superb as we ride on board with Roberto into Dunlop here.
They lost a bit of time to Dan in this lap. I saw them go side by side the lap before, but for whatever reason now, lost a bit of time.
As we see Dan Rice closing in behind, so
a couple of battles shaping up then. We've got Jake all over the back of Craig, Rich and Daniel Hill battling quite closely on track. And then we've got Dan Rice here chasing down Roberto, who's also chasing down Dano. As well as the absolute storm from Tour coming back through the field.
Yeah, that's quite incredible to see his pace as we jump back on board with Jake here. Sizing up on Craig. Let's see if he can make the move around. He was almost into the back of him there.
Absolutely. Oh, and
oh no!
Was that on the curb a little bit there? Or just too heavy on the brakes?
I think so. Maybe too heavy on his left foot there.
Yeah, these cars do have a tendency under heavy braking just to swap ends like that.
They do. I was just looking at the timing tower. I can see only the top 10 are not a lap down. They're all on the same lap. We've got Daniel Hill down, Rich down, and Joe a lap down because here he is. In the way.
Yeah, I think those 3 in the bottom 3 positions there have all had issues through the race. We saw Daniel take that early stop.
Yeah, he did. I mean, what are we? Almost halfway in this race?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So back looking at Roberto here, chasing Dano. Let's see what he can do.
So Roberto closed.
He's got to be careful though, because if he... Yeah, he's got to be careful though. If he goes for a move, he's going to open the door for Dan. He's going to say thank you very much and just side his way past.
Yeah, it's the kind of situation, if you're in a tin top of some sort, you might, if you were the middle car, opt to bump draft the car ahead and push him, but I don't fancy trying that in an F3 to be honest.
I wouldn't do it in F3. I was going to say if we're in a GT3, I think, you know what my protocol is, that's to flash the lights, to scrack the hell out of them.
It's surprising they run up to the Daytona 24 to see some of the top split guys bump drafting the LMP cars. That was...
I didn't think that was possible, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll try it in a future endurance race, just end the race, you know.
Sounds like death to me. Leave it to the top split guys to get paid for it.
But look at Dan Rice, as you were saying, you know, on the onboard. His nose looks absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's nice and fresh. Maybe not been riding the curves as much, because that is the sort of thing I've found that tends to fleck the paint off, is just running over the big heavy curves, maybe hitting the sausage strike every now and then.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that too much. Damage the floor, damage the nose, and then you'll be down on straight line speed as a result.
So
all these guys running quite similar pace though.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, McLaren keeping Stott honest at the front, but there's a big air gap from P2 to P3 now as Costa starts putting the pressure on Hammond.
And we've seen Rice here just keeping Roberto honest, just, you know, keeping the gap at about 5/10 or so.
They're just biding his time, isn't he?
That's the way to do it in these, isn't it? You just got to get your nose and have a look, have a sniff, but don't go for anything stupid, because you know that could wreck your race and your competitor's race, and we don't want that.
Exactly. One slight wrong move in a dive or something like that, and that's wheels and wings falling off all over the place.
And what is that? That'll be a toe. Calling the AA. Can I get toe, please?
I'll be with you in 3 hours, Scott.
Yeah. So you see Dan blinking again. Thankfully, he's not the middle car, because that would be quite scary.
Oh, and he's gone.
Oh,
spun around in the background there. Well avoided by one of the Chris's. That's Chris White now up into the top flag.
Well avoided. As we're on board with Gareth here. You could see he was a little bit hesitant on the throttle there, just being cautious as to where Dan was going. Thankfully, he stuck to the right-hand side, giving Gareth the outside line there.
Yeah, it's always a roll of the dice if you're going to pin it foot flat into a cloud of smoke to see whether you make it out the other side.
Bit of a hope and phrase, shut your eyes, right?
Raikkonen was it that one time that just pinned it through a... It might be before your time, Mr. Walking Fox, was it?
I think it was, but I've seen that one. I've definitely seen that one. He just shuts his eyes and, as we know from Timmy, no words.
Reckoned he could see an oil trail going off to the right-hand side. I think it was at Monza, wasn't it? Going through with a double right-hander at Monza. And it just
what's his famous saying? Shut up and leave me alone, I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I think that's what McLaren will be saying here, because he's set the fastest lap of the race, and the gap is now just over a second. Is he going to be on DRS range? Maybe not, because we don't have that, but slipstream, that is the big thing.
Yeah, exactly. The cars probably start feeling the slipstream about, 1.1, 1.2, and it gets
something around that.
Exponentially more powerful the closer you get.
Don't have any aero washing these, do we?
A little bit through the corners, I find, but it's not too bad.
As we see Dan Rice in the pits and Chris Forrester following him. Let's see, battle of the pit stops. Let's see which pit crew's on it today.
Absolutely, Craig opts to stay out for another lap. In fact, most of the grid do. I was just thinking the lap before as well. I think we saw Daniel Hill pitting in after that spin. I think that was probably too early to make it on fuel, because that was only about 5 or 10 minutes in. I
think he should be alright, to be fair. I mean, you could fill up the car 35 litres, but I think that's a little bit too much. As we see, what's the gap? It looks about the same. So the pit crews are on it today. They're both very nice, clean stops. That's what we like to see.
Just seeing
this lovely aerial shot of Roberto.
4 positions down from the start, so he's taken a pit stop, of course, but let's see if we can make those positions back up.
He's had a few spins, hasn't he?
Yeah, both the CC Racing boys have had a bit of sideways moments.
I wonder if that's because they've been turning their attention to GT3 and obviously racing the TCR. I think the Honda handles quite differently to an F3, so...
Yeah, potentially. Bit of a difference in downforce levels.
Absolutely. As we get this lovely aerial shot of Roberto. That corner's so fast, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a baptism of fire trying to learn the track for the first time just before the top split race, and the sun was in our eyes through that chicane. It was quite interesting.
Just shut your eyes, honestly, that's the way to do it.
So Chris chasing down Dan then after the pit stop within half a second there.
McLaren's just set another fastest lap.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely piling pressure on to start in the lead with
can see them on the track map as well. Just look at them, he's right up his chaff.
Yeah, we've seen Stott potentially make a mistake by himself at some point to lose that massive gap that he had, so we know he's susceptible if McLaren puts enough pressure on him.
There's Dan, he's back again.
They are teammates, so he doesn't particularly want to be forcing the pressure off
Are
the
they
road.
Friendly teammmates though? I'm not sure, because if we look at the other series, I think they've gone their separate ways, haven't they?
That's true, it's maybe a bit of a Hamilton versus Alonso kind of teammate.
Ooh, could be a long season battle then.
Absolutely.
Let's hope we get the other guys clawing up there. So we're back on board with P3, which is Dano, with Roberto right behind him.
Bit of a lock
Looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. I don't know, I think Roberto's just biding his time.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't need to absolutely dive into a move or anything like that. We think he's probably got the pace over Hammond, but yeah, like I say, just biding his time, waiting for pit stop.
Every time you say Hammond though, it reminds me of Richard Hammond from Top Gear.
I wonder what Richard Hammond's crash bill is so far after he crashed the dragster, didn't he? He crashed that. Is it that?
I don't think about it.
Off the side of that
mountain.
That was the
last thing, wasn't it? Yeah. Closing up as we switch battles again. There's action everywhere we look. How are we going to keep an eye on this?
Oh, exactly. Say there's only 13 cars on the grid for this one. They're clumping into some nice little battles.
Putting on the show for us.
Absolutely.
So see another little lock up from Dan Rice there. I wonder if it's just the line he's taking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Chris having to race a little bit on prediction with the blinking from Dan there.
Yeah, I was going to say, as we see Roberto diving in, he's opted to pit, so that releases Hammond, hopefully. Well, he's just set his PB, so now get some breathing space and open up that gap.
Yeah,
Back on board with the leaders here.
Get his foot down and do a nice strong in-lap to try and
he does. I mean, is he going to pit this lap? What do you think?
I'd personally just try and go as long as possible. Let the race play out, and then you've got a lighter car
and short fuel the car.
Laps.
Just
exactly.
make sure you've got enough fuel. You know, you don't want to do that and short fuel it, or put in a couple of liters and be like, oh, why is the car not moving anymore?
Yeah, it's that sinking feeling when you hear the car cough and splutter as it runs out of fuel.
It's horrible as we're looking at this battle for the lead here.
Is right there with Stott now.
2/10.
Needs to take a tear off.
I can't see the track in front of me. What's going on there?
You did say just close
your eyes. Gonna have to use a windscreen wiper. Yeah. That's what he's saying. What's he going to do? Did get a great one, but backs off. It's his teammate, remember? They're not going to take each other out, although they have done that a few times.
Yeah, definitely friendly rivalry between these two.
Yes, as we see Stott picking up a little bit of gravel there that's going to hamper his run. Darting left and right.
Just feathers the throttle a little bit. He had a good run.
Yeah, it was close. As we said, they don't want to go too wide here. McLaren thinks better of it. Down 2 gears. Usually it's in 5th, but obviously he's on the tighter line there. You can hear the tyres squirming under the brakes there.
Absolutely wringing its neck, isn't he?
Thought he was going to be in the pit wall there for a second.
We saw that in the top split race with, was it Namath?
We did, yeah, making a mistake. Entry. Yeah. But these guys have got a 10-second gap. As I said, if they just work together, but we know they're not going to do that, then they'd have a free pit stop. But it's all about the win, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Tour's got the fastest lap of the pair so far, right?
He does currently, yes. Obviously, he's in the slipstream now. So if he just sits behind for a lap, he could maybe improve that. And I think Sam's changed his car number, hasn't he? He's car 22 now, if I'm not mistaken, switching from 87. So that's another one to learn.
I think we've now
I think
got
he was after 23, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but
that's
he likes to be known the real Alex Albon, but that's taken, so he can't have that.
So is 023 now, of course, with a
it
professional Porsche driver.
Yes, Charles Rainford. Looking forward to the TCR videos. I've heard he's been on a bit of a storm.
Absolutely.
Must be all that real life experience.
Yeah, I mean, you'd sort of expect a professional driver coming in the ranks to kind of slap the rest of us around a little bit, wouldn't you?
We've got to handicap him, just say, like, you know, you've got 50% engine power. Let's see what you can do.
I've heard he's going to be in a V by the end of the season.
Have you?
Yeah, I have heard
I'm looking forward to that one. V's versus TCRs. That's going to be something else. And oval, of course.
Just V singular. It'll just be Charles in a V.
Oh, V singular. Oh, there'll be a hazard then. Slow moving hazard, but slow moving vehicle. As we see McLaren just sitting behind. As I said, I think that's the best thing to do.
So if you're Chur, do you box? Do you try and undercut?
If I'm Chur, I've got to say, I've got to put the pressure on. We've got a 10-second gap behind. Let's go for it. Oh, I want to see the on-track battle. Send it.
There you go, Chur. You've got your orders, and he's got alongside.
Well, he's got fastest lap as well by 0.5 or so. So setting the slipstream works. As we see him darting to the inside. Can he make it stick? I thought he was round on the bumps there. You could see the undulation change. That was mad.
Yeah, it's absolute roller coaster into turn 1 there.
And he's done it. What a move.
Drop. Great move by Chur there. So that is literally the last to first challenge complete.
Sorry to cut in there. That was close. You see Stott, that was into the back of him there, slamming the anchors on.
Whoa, and a big slap
McLaren getting squirmy there. Too trigger happy.
I think maybe McLaren saw Stott's lock up. He did take quite a wide line into turn 2. They're still side by side then, or back side by side.
Wow.
Great opportunistic move from Stott there.
That was really big. Ran the outside. That's not a passing opportunity, but he's made it stick.
Gonna go side by side into Dunlop now as well.
Oh, don't do that.
Another lock up for Stott there.
How close was that? There must be millimetres between them. God, that was... These guys have got a real trust between the pair of them. Incredible. Really putting on a show tonight.
Fantastic close racing. Oh,
like
side by side again.
Brakes a little bit early there. Maybe he's going to get the overspeed on exit. Stott seems to be knowing where to place his car. I wonder if one of them's going to pit this out. What do you think?
I would, certainly if I was McLaren. I think by now he's getting held up by Stott. So if he boxed now and did a nice couple of outlaps, he'd probably get the jump on him.
Oh, he needs to take this chair off. I mean, look, how can you see where you're going? That's ridiculous. You've got to bind that button, Chur.
And he does.
There we go.
Oh, and Stott sees him going and very late commits to the line as well.
I wonder if that's an unsafe pit entry. That's pretty sneaky. And Malarin, look at that, getting as much speed as possible before coming in. And we see Hammond staying out here for another lap. This is your time to shine. Let's go. Find 10 seconds.
No pressure.
No pressure. I'd expect a 37 from him.
We've seen pit entry collisions previously. I think with those two, haven't we?
I think we have. I mean, Malarin was right on his toes there.
He was hiding behind Stott on the pit entry, hiding from the radar.
Where is he? We need to get some camera angles of that. So we're back on board with Gareth. That promotes him to P3. I wonder if something's happened there. Just look at the gaps. What's going on? They should be right behind each other, shouldn't they?
Yeah, that's true. What's happened to Malarin there? He's lost a lot of time.
Did he take tyres by mistake? Because, what's that? It must be about 5 seconds or so. So we're on board for Roberto here into turn 1.
Nice clean visor, this one.
I can see the track now.
It looks like HD in comparison to being on live.
It does. It really does. Big difference. Cheer, you got to bind that button. Come on, we know you got some buttons spare. Use them.
So you can see that paint flicking up the nose of Winslade's car here. So
yeah, it's quite noticeable. I'd like to compare it to Dan Rice's car because that looked like it just came out the factory.
It did. It's still pretty good. Well, yeah, Winslade slowly making his way through the order. You can see he's up 7 positions so far, but I don't think he's pitted yet. So
yeah. I was going to say, do you want to run us through the order? But I don't think that's advisory because these guys are going to be pitting. So I think we'll wait for the pit stops and then we'll give you a rundown of the order.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could sort of give a bit of a prediction. We know some of the drivers that have stopped and those who haven't. We know Hammond out of the lead there has not stopped yet, so we'd expect him to probably come back out maybe about P3 or P4.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Drop just behind probably Chris White, so maybe about P6 or P7.
Yeah, around with Roberto. I mean, it's going to be pretty close. If he gets between Chris and Roberto, that's impressive because just looking at the gap there, it's not much.
No, absolutely. They're fairly nose to tail as well, aren't they?
Gareth staying out. Hammond's in though, so hopefully he gets nice and smooth. Watch the pit limit. Watch the pit speed limit, I should say.
Roberto is missing the front right wheel there.
I was going to say, it doesn't look very healthy.
Oh yeah, I saw his name suddenly plummet down the timing tower there and wondered what was happening.
That was unfortunate. He was in P6. There, that looks secondary, doesn't it?
Yeah, very second hand.
That's unfortunate, as we're back on board, looking at Chris White, I should say. Looking good back in P5, so I think it's just limiting the incidents, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a clean race is going to get a result around this track.
Yes, definitely.
So Winslade has got in between Stott and Malarin at the front there.
But let us not forget, he hasn't pitted yet.
No, absolutely not. In fact, Winslade on the track map there, though, was very close to the back of Stott there.
Yeah, it was just looking at the gap there, what is it? It's about second and a half, so keeping it at bay for now. So on board with Chur. He's got some work to do. What's the gap? 6 seconds.
Got a lot of fresh air though as well.
Find that. Yeah, he's got clear air. Putting those fastest laps, come on, I expect a 46. On the fries up here.
Yeah, the tyres screaming around the corner.
Wonder if he takes the curb on the right hand side because we've seen a few of the top split guys doing that. I don't know if it's faster, I just think it opens up the corner a bit more. Ooh, very twitchy from Gareth there.
Yeah, these cars do get a little bit more twitchy as the fuel burns down. We know Winslade's yet to pit.
Let's see, what do you reckon this time by? Well, maybe he's been fuel saving and he's going to do a Don Parker special.
Well, say he is a wizard, so maybe he's living up to the team name and going as long as he possibly can. So we see Stott is back in the pits.
What?
Is this a penalty? Is this too many incident points?
I wonder if it was his unsafe pit entry because I'll be honest, it didn't look very correct, shall we say. It was darting over the last seconds.
Very late, didn't he? And Winslade is in the pits as well behind, and that just gifts the lead to Malarin. Then he's going to have about a 20-second lead, isn't he?
He is. How if Sam has got a stop and go? What is it? It's about 30 seconds. Let's see if he peels into the box. I think he's got a stop and go. That's unfortunate.
Keep an eye on when he exits the pit lane here.
Oh no!
He's
gone straight to pit exit.
Did he not fuel?
What on earth was that for?
Maybe didn't put enough fuel in the tank.
Maybe that, but I thought it would be an unsafe pit entry. Oh, as we see, that was close
from Dan Rice there.
But Chris says, not enough, I'm coming through. Watch out. He's got the inside, which we know is the overtaking opportunity.
Just needs to be careful on the bump going down.
Oh!
Commentator's curse. Sorry, Chris. It was the bump that was
well avoided by Dan, though. That was very well avoided. So that promotes Dan Rice into P6. Did Chris keep it going? Yeah, it looks like he has, so he's maintained P7.
Horrible sinking feeling. You get the move done, you've worked, you've got alongside, you get the move done, and then you just spin it on the apex. Got to start all over again.
Just the bumps, isn't it? You see, back on board with Hammond here. He's in P3, but look, he's behind him. One of the QRS boys, that'll be Sam Stott, chasing him down. I bet he's heartbroken to just gift the win to Malarin there.
Yeah, we're going to need some Jaws music for the QRS boys for the rest of the season, I think, with the way
I think we are. Honestly, I thought they were going to make contact. I thought they were going to make contact into Dunlop, considering how close they were. Millimetres to spare.
Yeah, they were racing. Well, we said before they've had the fair share of coming togethers, so...
they have, yes.
This time managed to keep it clean, thankfully.
Oh, here's Dan. He's back again. I was wondering, where's he gone?
quick trip to outer space and back, and here he is again. So P6 for Dan.
Here we are. The battle for P3 commences again. Sam's got a nice clear tear off. It looks good. I like to see Malarin's POV.
I don't think I would like to see it, to be honest.
Can't see anything. Here comes Sam.
Stopped from a long way back on the brakes.
He is the last of the late breakers, isn't he?
Well executed. And gets the move fully done.
Clean move. That was superb, but Sam is known for last of the late breakers. Sometimes a little bit too late, but that one was executed to perfection.
Absolutely, you can't fault him. He gets it slowed down for the apex.
He starts to open up a gap. Let's see. Dano's going to be in the slipstream though. It's about, what, 5 tenths or so? So, let's see. Let's see what he can do. Look at that, no paint scrubbing off there. So he's been keeping off the curbs. You can see Sam's line through that corner. It was taking a lot more curb.
Yeah, it looks to have actually slowed his run a little bit there. Like Hammond got a bit more pace down the hill there towards the hairpin.
Yeah, as we come through Dunlop, heading up to Michael Schumacher F's. Let's see, I wonder. Yeah, there we go. Stop gripping that outside curb.
Using all of the track.
All of it and a bit more.
Well, we saw when he was battling with Malarin, putting a couple of tyres in the gravel.
Yeah, any more, I think he would have been round, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. And these cars bottom out on the curbs. Just turn into a bobsleigh.
They do indeed. On board with our leader, Chur Malarin. What's the gap? 13 seconds.
He's got time to put the kettle on, hasn't he? Pull over, grab a drink of water.
He must be thinking, where is everyone else? Where is everyone? 48.4 from him. Let's see what the other guys are doing. Obviously, they're in a battle. Chris Wright is now in P2.
That's a great... We saw him curse at the P2 earlier. We saw him spin out of P2 and he's climbed his way all the way back up. That's a great drive from Chris.
He was 2 cents faster than Malarin.
Yeah. Looks like a damaged
looks like
car.
Oh no, was that Weaver? Yeah, it was. It looks like he was out the car.
Yeah, that looks like damage.
Time to put his feet up.
Early bath for him.
Yeah. You see Roberto here. Car looks brand new again after his unfortunate incident. We haven't got a replay of that. I wonder what happened. But
yeah,
as I said, they got the fast repair. Yeah. What do you reckon? Just losing it on throttle? Or maybe under brakes and just smashing into it?
I think it was a solo incident. We've been fortunate that all the incidents so far have been sort of single cars and not so big pilots.
They have, yes. As you see Dan Hill chasing down Chris Forrester for P7.
It's been a great little fight in the mid-pack here today.
Really enjoyable as we see Chris darting, saying
Chris taking the walker line.
He is. If he wants the slipstream, he's got to come and get it. But he's not weaving, so
absolutely
not Walker, not Walker.
Not the Walker special.
No.
Is there a school of Walker defending?
If there was, I'd have to be charging for that. I think my defending is impeccable.
Is that the word you'd use?
Yeah, we can go with that. Firm but fair.
Firm but fair. So Daniel's staying behind Chris for now then. Just keeping the pressure on. I do like that striking livery, the Lynx Africa inspired CC racing.
I do indeed. I'm just gonna have to call it that. That's the Lynx car. They do have Lynx branded on the engine cover, I think.
Let's see if we can start thinking of some Africa related analogies for their cars this season.
Yeah. They might have a nice aroma coming off the back of the car, so that's why Daniel's getting so close to it.
A bit better than engine oil and tyres.
Most definitely.
I don't know, there's something about when you like walk into a go-karting track where you smell of petrol and
every race's perfect smell. You could describe a smell, and pot it, that's what you do.
Wide.
You see Dan going very wide.
Oh, he's just worked so hard to close the gap, and then that one mistake he's just lost. Well,
it's going to be 2 seconds back.
Yeah,
Let's see what he can do. Maybe he can recover. So we back on LoA Dano in P4. So not on the podium. Let's see what happens. Has Chris pitted? Chris must have stopped, surely.
I think we saw Chris. Did he have a couple of spins and maybe pitted quite early on?
That's very true. So he's on a different strategy, hence why he's right up there.
But I do believe he should be able to make it to the end.
Let's see. Sam's got 5 seconds to close down. What do you think? I think we got about 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean we saw us start setting the early pace, so we definitely know he's quick around here. But,
we do indeed.
6 seconds to do in about 3 laps is probably a bit optimistic.
Anything's possible.
Absolutely, yeah.
Never say never.
I mean, there's nothing saying there might be an unforced error from White. He might, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. I hope not, because that would be a superb showing.
The thing with racing is it's never over till it's over, right?
No, never over till the fat lady sings.
Slade, absolutely sending it through the left-hander there. Down the hill towards the chicane.
See how much Lockie was cranking on there.
But here the tyres complaining about it.
We've got white flag. White flag. So maybe the timing town needs to be adjusted, because I don't think that's right.
I think we're possibly winning the lapped race, aren't we? Is it
oh no, yeah, I beg your pardon. That's right. What is it? 28 laps, I believe. So time is irrelevant.
Yes. Sometimes the timing tower likes to report what it likes to report. So today we've got a timed report for a lap race. We are on the final
hopefully
lap
that's updated. As we're looking at Craig here. Nice simple livery, simple but easy to recognise.
Yeah, and scoring himself a top 10 as it stands. So stayed out of trouble, lap to laps. He's going to get a top 10 for his troubles by the looks of it.
Yes, that's very good. Some nice points on offer.
And Malaren has lapped Costa, so lapped the championship, or sort of the reigning champion from last season.
Yeah, Roberto's got a lot of pressure on him, being the Club 1500 champion of last season, but this is a separate championship now, so it's all to play for.
Yeah, and it's been nice to see sort of the lack of carnage compared to some of the F3 races last season.
Yeah, I think splitting them up is a good decision.
Especially for such quick, nippy vehicles like these. I think the GTs sort of cope a little bit better being on the same track, but for these things, they're so fragile as well. Like, it only takes one little mistake from someone and
it does
cause a big problem.
Yeah. As we look at Gareth here, chasing down Dana. Let's see what he can do. This is the last lap, remember? So
just
he hasn't got long
if
he's going to do it.
So he should get draft down towards the fast chicane.
Would you want to make a move there on the last lap? I don't think so. I think I'd settle for
and try and
P5.
distract the guy ahead, though.
You could, but here comes Malaren out of the final corner. What was he, last place? And now, look at him. He's P1, weaving.
Challenge.
Last to first challenge, completed it, mate. Malaren wins our opening rounds of Club 1500. And here we see Chris White coming up towards the line. He's going to be chuffed with that.
Absolutely great drive for Chris White here today. We saw him
see
off
weaving
the track a couple of times, but it
and
didn't
Sam
matter in
Stott.
the end.
I think Stott looks disappointed. No weaving from him. I think he could have, what could have been. Yeah, but he does take fastest lap, 47.0.42. So fastest lap point.
We saw Stott throw away a sort of 10-11 second lead there. He must be kicking himself.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Oh, look at these stunning shots here. This is top quality. Right, do you want to run us through the championship standings?
There's your finishing order and points then. So Malaren with the... did he get pole? Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
Yes, he did get pole, so he's got that,
so
extra
Malaren
point.
from White, Stott from Hammond, and then Winslade rounding out the top 5. Rice from Forrester, and then Hill. Craig in 9th with Roberto reigning champion down in 10th, and then with Meesters, Jake Weaver and Joe Barlow moving us around for the finishing order.
All scoring points, so all to play for. There's only round 1 out of 8. Remember, 2 drops, so keep your head up. And here we see the championship standings, and no surprise, Curas on top there with 124. CC Racing, aka Lynx Africa, 91 points for them. Wizards of Lifton Coast, 60 points in P3. P4, the Backpackers, the Backmarkers, 38. TRH Simsport, 36. City Aguri P6 and P7. I didn't quite catch that one.
It was a 0 score for those guys though. So yeah, that's everything for this one. Don't forget to check out our Discord and our website, limitofadhesion.com. Join us on Facebook and on YouTube.
It's been a pleasure, Dom.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
That was great fun. I really
in the
enjoyed
box with
that.
us.
Yes, I've become accustomed to the box now. I'm quite liking it. Looking forward to the next one, heading off to Virginia. So off to the USA we go.
Indeed, I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. Thank you.